Hey, what type of work do you do? It's a stable question that we all use to navigate the mysterious and literally wonderful act of making conversation with someone new. I've been continually surprised by the reactions I get when I tell people that I'm a personal workflow coach. It's a wide spectrum. I mean, wide. Even when you rule out the cases where what I do is misunderstood, there's a strong spectrum of opinions about the who, the how, and the why of workflow. What's significant about this spectrum? Why bring it up? Well, it reveals the fact that we all have very different images floating around in our heads about what it means to get organized or be more productive or have a PKM system. There's a divide, and in many ways, this divide makes a lot of sense. We're living in unprecedented times. A lot of the walls in our life have rapidly faded away, and we're left with this overwhelming sensation of a blank canvas. Whether recognized or not, we're under an enormous amount of cognitive pressure. We've all experienced some combination of the following. Our work has become fully remote and or asynchronous. We can work anywhere at any time on any device. The tools that we use are going through shorter and shorter cycles. New phone every 2 years, new task manager or planner every 6 to 12 months. By the way, how are all those New Year's resolutions going? New updates on your software every 2 weeks. Maybe you're not as geeky as me, but I'm always checking that kind of stuff. Our new abilities to execute are always being countered by new ways to be distracted, and we're frustrated. Frustrated, we look to the internet to learn how to get more organized, and we meet another problem. Creating and sharing information has become an almost frictionless process, and while this comes with some benefits, at the end of the day, low friction environments tolerate poor design. And now we're drowning in advice. Some from professionals, some not. Some from people who are simply experimenting out loud, as has become popular with the Learn in Public movement. It's not always easy to discern who is who. Even if we can separate the wheat from the chaff, we're told very different things. Some are building custom servers in their homes, intending to fully externalize their thought into what they call their second brain. Others are kind of swinging the other way and making a radical return to only pencil and paper. Is all this stuff overkill? The designing and thinking through of all these systems? Is it too much? Is it not enough? Is it only for techies? For the corporate world? What about parents? What about teenagers? College students? How about those crazy artists? There needs to be a common ground, a shared language, and a unifying understanding of the how and why of workflow. And for this purpose, it's worth our time to step back and look at workflow with a much wider lens, to temporarily put aside particular workflow practices and to study the history of workflow. Disrupting the rhythm here a little bit, hopefully, will not only help us to contextualize our thoughts, but it will enable us to grasp the unchanging first principles of workflow. And at that point, we're good. We've got a compass. We're no longer lost in the sort of like Wild West. We're able to confidently perform a quick sniff test of information and thereby avoid wasting time on superficial content. In this series, we'll study the history of workflow in two ways. First, we'll start with a high-level overview of the 3 ages of work. This will provide the big picture that we can then use to contextualize various particulars later down the road. Second, we'll analyze in detail a parallel pattern found within 2 of the ages. That, if recognized, reveals almost a blueprint for navigating the fast and fluid time that we live in. If you're not already, I encourage you to subscribe to this channel, and there's 2 reasons for that. First, it ensures you are notified when a new episode is released. Second, it supports the growth of this channel, which helps the production of free, high-quality, thoughtful content. If you are already subscribed, thank you. In a world where time and attention is at an all-time premium, please know that it's not lost on me that you are choosing to take some of your precious time and use it to engage with this channel. So thank you. I think you're gonna find this higher perspective really refreshing. The goal is to connect some far-reaching dots and help you feel oriented and autonomous. It should feel like finding a map after living in a new town for a couple of months, right? Like before then, you're sort of wandering around and you know how to get to certain places, but all of a sudden you get this map and you're like, whoa, that road connects to Giant, or like I could walk to the library from here. There's something orienting and freeing in that experience. And that's really what this series is intended to feel like. Okay, part 1 comes out next week, so I'll see you then.